Hey everyone, the name is Erik Thor, and in today's video allow me to show you why judging types are not more likely to be stressed or tense than other types. Now, from the perspective of the MBTI, there's a big emphasis on judging types being more structured or organized. But often this falls short when we discuss, for example, INFJs who tend to have messy homes and who tend to be a little disorganized in many frames of the word. At least what we can notice is that judging does not tend to apply to all judging types. And so some people have been using the word soft judging types to solve the issue of, for example, the feeling judging types compared to the thinking judging types. But I don't think this solves the issue, because that just means that 50% of the judging types aren't judgers at all, because they are soft judgers who don't actually adhere to this criteria of the Myers-Briggs community of organization. Now, what I found when it comes to judging is that a lot of stereotypes throw out the idea that judging types are stressed, where perceiving types are relaxed or carefree. Now, I find this to be far, far from the truth. What I've noticed is that tension or stress is not the sign of a personality type, but rather the sign of a personality type who has misused their judging or perceiving function. In general, stress can be to a certain extent healthy, but beyond that it can be unhealthy. And we are all in need of learning to balance and manage our stress, to find healthy ways to put stress on ourselves without putting too much stress on ourselves. Because too much stress can break a person, and too little can make a person shed any form of responsibility, and can keep a person from challenging themselves and to pushing themselves to be the best person they can be. I find that judging is to some extent about structure, but not in the general sense of the word. What I tend to emphasize is that there is feeling judging, which is the emphasis of structured morals, to have a system of morals where all ideas inside of your system fit with one another. It's kind of the effort of going through your system of morals, or going through an organization's morals, to spot when there are contradictions or conflicts in an organization on a moral scale. And then acting to structure and organize this group or this social dynamic to make sure that the problem goes away. So here is a structure, but not in the focus on structuring your environment. It doesn't have to take this form. And with thinking judging, a lot of the time there is a discussion of how thinking and judging involves planning and detail and scheduling. But a lot of the time, what thinking and judging is about is organizing mechanics and systems and rules. Imagine you have multiple different rules or criteria that you must meet in a system. You must deliver on productivity, you must deliver on money, you must deliver on investments, and you must manage a varying amount of resources and differing needs. Thinking and judging then happens to be about this ability to organize systems in a structured manner, and to notice when two systems are in conflict with one another. So here is the ability to observe power dynamics, noticing when two institutions are to some degree in conflict. It's about finding a way to solve power dynamics so two conflicting systems can pass on and do what they do without getting in each other's way. And it's about, in many ways, finding ways to make sure that the rules that you have in place in an organization are efficient and productive and well structured. A lot of the time, when it comes down to it, judging has this influence on brainstorming, where judging types tend to narrow down options and perceiving types tend to expand options. And so you can notice that a feeling judging type has a set idea on how a message can be interpreted, where a feeling perceiving type can think of 5 different ways to look at an issue or a perspective. Often there is this focus from judging type, and the focus is, I think, a better description than, for example, being stressed or being carefree. What I notice is that when a judging type goes into this ability to be a perceiving type, when a thinking judging type becomes a thinking perceiving type or acts like a thinking perceiving type, what they become aware of is suddenly, oh my god, well, this spontaneous change I made here, and this system adaptation I did here, and this adjustment I came up with here, everything is creating this big system of chaos and disarray. And that is what makes a thinking judging type become tense. When a thinking judging type becomes kind of overwhelmed by thinking perceiving and this experience of how every little change that they have suddenly made or everything they've had to adapt in the situation is causing disarray in your system, this organization, that's when judging types become stressed. And on the contrary, for a feeling judging type, in the situation where you are starting to adapt your morals into every situation and where you have to make compromises to fit every specific situation, because a moral rule can be good, but then in each specific situation, how do you adapt it? What is the right thing to do in every specific situation? And what happens if there are subtle changes in how the groups interact and if new members arrive? And what in these situations, the judging type is put into a situation that is innately stressful. And what you can learn from this, what you can notice from this, is that stress is about balancing change on a social or technical scale or on an imaginative or on a structural level, and being able to find strategies to avoid these issues. A judging type avoids stress by employing a proactive strategy, intercepting changes before they happen, coming up with rules that are one size fits all, rules that you can apply in any situation without having to make adjustments, rules that you have envisioned in time before will fit together so that you aren't going to make any rash changes that won't fit with the system. Judging types are in the process of reducing their stress by being able to think proactively about how the system is going to change, and by making sure that you keep on track. Because as a judging type, you are more likely to be goal-oriented. I mean, every type should seek to have a goal or a higher cause with what they do, but to have a goal in emphasis singular here, in emphasis of structured goal, in emphasis of that steady linear flow, that is to be a judging type. When you come at it from the perspective of a perceiver, this can all seem kind of strange. What I notice when it comes to being a perceiving type is this ability to enjoy and reduce stress by adapting situations and issues to fit with each situation. A perceiving type reduces stress in situations where errors occur because in actuality their emphasis is not on consistency but on accuracy. A thinking perceiving type wants accuracy in the sense of having the best idea for every situation, a customized solution for every need. Sorry. A solution or a rule change or a flexible adaptation that will make sure that you make the best decision possible and that you maximize your score in each situation. The worst thing for a thinking perceiver is keeping on a rule that is inaccurate or illogical or doesn't work, and to find that, but what if I make this change, and not being able to make this change? What makes the thinking perceiving type stressed is the reverse than what it is for a thinking judging type. A thinking perceiving type becomes stressed by noticing how the situation is linear and how they are noticing that they have to make compromises and that they have to kind of avoid issues that are going to give them higher returns, that they can't deliver on or make changes or adjustments that can give them more profit in each specific situation. So, from the feeling perceiving type's perspective, of course, a lot of the stress comes not from the experience that not all of you have made sense of all the rules or created a system of all your morals or your values or how you interact with other people, but from knowing that you have been authentic in each situation, that you have been representing yourself and how you feel, and that you have done the right thing depending on what the right thing is. What I noticed that is so fascinating is when you move from the idea that judging types are stressed and that perceiving types are carefree and don't care, what you notice is there are just different motives, different needs here. Needs that don't contradict themselves. It's not that judging types or structure is against efficiency or accuracy. It's just that it's prioritized differently. And it's that in general, a judging type will pick up on stress related to things that a perceiving type can ignore, where a perceiving type can pick up on stress in judging that the thinking judging type can ignore for the sake of some higher value or for the sake of some kind of closure. And then that is what creates the difference between these two types. And that is how you can tell if somebody is a judging type or a perceiving type. That's all for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, share, subscribe, or don't. I hope you enjoyed this video, and may your neurons be with you.